Hello, and welcome to the CTB show. Today is spooky season. The weather is spooky. I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number. Let's have a baby. Welcome to the show. My name is Evan the Mayor. That is Brian the Levy.
This is a completely audio medium, but I'm doing this like Kilroy was here thing with the bottom of the screen.
You are, and I will eventually post this to the YouTubes.
Look, now it's like
I'll never see it.
Now it's like I'm wearing a mask. I'm covering my mouth and nose.
You're very responsible. And then it's Casey the Kasem.
Cookie.
Starts with C.
Have you ever played Ookie Cookie?
No.
Casey, do you know what else starts with C?
What, Brian?
Canola oil.
Sorry for that feedback. All right, welcome to the show. Top of the show plugs. Brian, I got something I got to tell you.
Oh, please.
Guess who's back?
Back again?
Back again with their fashionable eyewear.
Oh.
Warby Parker has filled their coffers, refilled them with referral dollars.
Uh-oh.
If you will, please give us a seasonably appropriate spot for Warby Parker.
Oh, hello. Hi. This is very chilly out, and maybe you get ice in your eyes. Well, do you know what could block that? Let me tell you. It's Warby Parker stylish ice blockers, glasses, spectacles. They are perfectly designed to keep ice crystals from forming in your eyeballs, thus puncturing your eyeballs and letting out all of your sight goo. Please buy yourself some Warby Parker ice blocking ice goggle spectacles. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Go to cityofthebreeds.com/deals and click through that Warby Parker banner. Do some try-ons at home. We get 50 cents when you do that. And if you buy a pair, we get 20%, which is very helpful.
And if you try them on, do it topless and post it on Instagram and tag us.
Yeah. Stories, please.
Or send them to me privately. I can get things like that now.
Let's not get there. Let's not go there. Okay.
Oh, whatever.
Speaking of inappropriate hand gestures, Borat movie came out. We're going to talk about that. But Casey, another top of the show plug. Did you receive the link I sent you for the stash card?
I did.
Did you look at it?
Not yet.
That is the wrong answer.
I know it's the wrong answer. I will do it right now. You know what?
The point being, it only takes $5 to get started, and as a referral bonus, you and I both get money when you sign that link. And
$20. That's a pretty good deal.
Hell yeah. With the aforementioned debit card that they have, you can use to pay your bills and get stock in those companies. Just pay my Sprint bill, which gets me stock in T-Mobile because they merged. Anyway, topics. Guys, ladies and gentlemen. Casey, what was in your ducks?
I wish I could tell you. Spoiler alert, my shut up is to companies that don't call you back.
Oh, no.
You're trying to do nothing but just hand them money.
Do you still have a homeless person living in the walls of your house?
Yes. Earl and I have gotten acquainted.
Is his name? What's his name? Jester?
Not Earl. Remember, we figured that out last time.
I know. I want to change that. Well, I'll figure something out for him.
His name's not Jester.
No.
I think his name is Jimsy.
Jimsy?
Jimsy,
the almond feeding hobo.
He just likes to watch Casey sleep. Sometimes he'll stroke Casey's cheek. It's me, old Jimsy. I'm watching you sleep.
I came out of the vent while you were napping, so you this.
Guys, I just need to use the shower. Casey wakes up in the middle of the night, the shower's running. He goes, "Oh, it's me, it's old Jimsy, just having a soak."
Hot water will do, however.
I got me a bath bomb.
So basically, Casey, you have no idea what was in your vents. In your ducts,
no, and I
dumps.
can't get. I'm in the same spot that I was exactly a week ago.
Wow.
and can't
Well,
get anybody
literally,
to come out to do
you're
anything.
literally in the same spot. You won't leave your house.
Very, very good.
Fair enough. No, that is not true because I did.
Oh, and that's probably where an appropriate time to play this sound effect.
It's been
Casey, it's me, Jim G. I need you to pick me up some menthols.
Casey, you left the house. You went to a place.
A couple places. I was everywhere. Went to went out. Got my flu shot. Went to CVS. But then went to Clark's Farm in Ellicott City.
Yeah, Clark's
little-
Farm is notable because it's the place that rescued all of the Enchanted Forest installations.
This is Clark's Elioke Farms.
Exactly.
I'll never get to go. That's right across the street from Caitlin's parents' house.
Oh
Just
no!
another thing that I missed out on.
Oh god!
It was pretty. It was nice. So I never went to Enchanted Forest. I don't know when Enchanted Forest actually shut down.
I'm gonna say like mid '90s, maybe.
Yeah.
It is now a strip mall.
Missed out on that, but it was pretty cute for the kids.
Right.
We did they have a little train ride that takes you through like kind of this little wooded area where they have all what they've taken from Enchanted Forest set up. They've got this little they call it a cow train where it's like a tractor that pulls these little cow carts that my son ride in that was good. Did a little pony ride thing, fed some goats. It was pretty good afternoon all around.
Did you do yoga with those goats?
Did not do yoga with the goats.
Did you ride the pony?
No, I did not. I'm a little bit too old.
Well, maybe they had a
Little
horse
bit-
ride.
No, they did not have that. The goat did try to eat my shirt though.
The goat's name was Bort Simpson. Eat my shirt.
Yeah.
Something like that. That was literally my worst fear when it comes to goats is them trying to eat my clothing and the goat tried to eat my shirt.
Nice.
Well, literally, Casey, that's interesting because my worst fear whenever I see an animal is that they'll try to eat my dick. So, clothing, dick, whatever.
It should be noted that Brian is not on camera. There's just some weird flashing artifact going on. Brian,
I am.
home, where are you?
I'm at home.
Okay. But yeah, this spreads into a broader discussion of Maryland amusement parks, a lot of which are just gone. But yeah, the Enchanted Forest, I went there a couple times as a kid, and I always found it to be a little creepy. They had a big bouncy house, and it's not a bouncy castle. It was like a bouncy rotunda, and it was just a million 3-year-olds peeing themselves. And you would get to the point where you get tired and you couldn't jump anymore, and you would fall down and get stuck just in the crevice of the area where the mat ends and the mesh begins. So you're just stuck in the corner flailing around being like, I can't get up.
That's exactly what happened to me the last time I was in a bouncy castle 6 months ago.
There are certain amounts of these places that we would go to as kids, that I just kind of remember, like the Cloisters or Enchanted Forest. Certain I was always fascinated and fucking entranced by the crab at the Science Center.
Oh yeah, the one that moves its little claws.
To me, they had to bring that thing out from its cage every morning.
You do realize it's still there.
Oh, I know it's still there.
Yeah.
You don't think at some point when I'm shit faced during a fucking Halloween party, I don't go stand in front of that thing for 20 minutes and just
watch it
waving
its claws.
It's it to me, it's like that fucking buffalo from Radio Flyer.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
I have dreams about it, but then there are certain things I don't think I've been inside of Fort McHenry in, let's say if I'm 37, I think 20 years is 17 the last time. No fucking way have I been was I in Fort McHenry in the 5 years before I was 17.
I will tell you the one and only time I've been inside of Fort McHenry was when I was about 10 years old, and the Boy Scouts of America, Troop 306, we walked from Patterson Park to Fort McHenry
Wait.
Dad insisted that we stop at Conley's seafood restaurant so he could get a beer.
Now, kids. Normally, we molest you in the woods, but today we're going to molest you in this 18th century fort.
Yeah.
We used to run to Fort McHenry, like back when I, was running long distances. We would run up in there. It was nice. I'm
Well, now
surprised
I bike
you
around
haven't
it.
been there that often.
I mean, I'll do the walking or bike riding loop, around the outside of the fort, but I'm not spending $15 to go inside a broke ass dungeon.
Wait, it costs money?
Sorry, we haven't been. Okay, I get what you're saying.
I thought
it
was free.
costs money.
No, I think it's free.
No, not to actually go inside the fort. It does cost money. I don't think it's as much as $15, but it does cost something.
Well, I refuse to pay that. That is highway robbery.
Okay. I mean, if they don't have any gatekeepers, then you're just gonna have teens smoking in the place all the time, like getting up in that dungeon and doing drugs.
Well, as somebody who's been biking that bike loop for a couple weeks now, yeah, I've been smoking weed on the property of Fort McHenry for weeks.
Yeah, but I'm talking about inside the buildings, the historic preserved buildings. I mean, look, we fought off the British in that fucking place, man. You can't smoke drugs in there.
Listen. I assume that there's a gate that somebody locks, but after that, fair game.
Yes, it's a plank gate. It's only locked with like one of those little, hitches. So you could totally open it yourself. But
what's the difference between a fort and a castle?
One has
an excellent question. So as you may well be aware, it's been a little dry in terms of the guest list lately, but we will get a fortress expert on the next episode of the show.
There used to be that nerd who would dress up for the news and shit, but I know for a fact that he's moved on. He's no longer with Fort McHenry.
Oh wait, there is an article.
Oh, there's an article.
What's the difference between a fort and a castle?
The main difference between a fort and a castle.
There
are two similar structures. The main difference is that a castle is a fortified residence of a nobleman or king, while a fort is just a fortified building.
Okay.
I guess. Fort Meade's like a lot of building. How is that a fort?
Good question. I think anything that has the military tied to it is technically a fort.
What sieges could Fort Meade stand against?
I don't know. If you got a bunch of trebuchets, it'd be pretty easily captured.
Could it fight off an Indian attack now?
A what attack?
An Indian attack.
What kind of Indian?
I don't know, Iroquois or some shit. What are the East Coast ones?
Because there's a lot of tribes. I don't know, tomahawks and stuff.
Casinos,
the casino tribe.
We're here with our buffets.
No, see, what happened is they would try to invade the fort and everybody would just step out of the way because they're like, well, they're indigenous people. We got to get out of the way.
No. They try to take over the fort and 50 white people would stand up being like, but I'm an Indian too. My grandmother said.
Yeah.
Elizabeth really
Warren told me.
Does that mean that technically at a fort you could have a moat?
You could have a moat? Oh.
I think the only answer is, Casey, you can't live in it.
How deep is a standard moat?
Not as deep as my love.
Oh, okay.
How deep is
sports? They are not amusement parks. The more you know.
Between 3 and 30 feet.
How much?
A moat typically is between 3 and 30 feet.
So
3 and 30 feet.
It's got a.
Today I learned moats do not have to be filled with water.
What else would they be filled with other than
the blood of your the blood of your enemies?
Yeah, baby blood.
A dry wide ditch is considered a moat.
Okay, yeah, that's more of a gulch to me.
I'd like a dry gulch. I'd like to return to your statement that forts are not amusement park because you're wrong. Coming in summer of 2021 is my new business venture, Fort Fun, a battleground of amusement.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you. Because I think in this time of global pandemic, what people really need are new amusement parks.
Oh, absolutely. You know, socially distanced amusement parks with roller coaster rides that spray you with disinfectant while you're, you know, on the ride.
And sometimes if one of the teenagers who gets angry for being fired, sometimes it will spray you with cum
Come, yes.
because he puts it into the delivery system. Fuck you! You can't fire me. I quit. I'm coming into this bin. This bin of hand sanitizer.
Well, at least have very sanitized jizz.
All your super clean drowned spermies. Oh, gross.
Right. So these amusement parks. Did you guys ever go to Wild World as children?
No,
I don't even know.
I've been to Wild World once, and that was 2 years ago.
If you want to see some high entertainment, Google Wild World and YouTube. You'll see some commercials and or live performances that took place there. Basically, it was a glorified water slide park, but it had like a train ride and some roller coasters. One of which was called the Wild One. It's I think one of the oldest wooden coasters, which is still in operation as it now is a Six Flags location.
Is the other one the Comet? What's the one at
Comet?
The tastiest place on earth?
That's Hershey Park. Yeah, I think it's at Hershey Park.
What's the one at? Is Coney Island a wizard?
Is Coney Island a wizard?
The wizard.
The wizard.
Oh wow!
Could you do us all a favor and fucking sit still?
I was standing still. The wizard.
So do you know who owned the land of Wild World before it was purchased by Six Flags?
I'm gonna say the Pataracasis or Sinclair family.
Ross Perot.
Whoa!
It was operated as a drive-through safari called the Largo Wildlife Preserve up until 1978.
Wow.
Yes. Because when I think of wild animals, I think of right outside of the District of Columbia.
Oh wait, I got that way wrong. My bad. That's Adventure World.
the Texas Six Flags, perhaps.
Adventure World. No, it's the one in Prince George's, Woodmore.
Mm-hmm.
Of Prince George's County.
Yeah.
Upper Marlboro. Yeah.
Yeah. It was Wild World, then it was Adventure World, and Cal Ripken had an Outback themed water park inside of it. I forget what it was called, and I cannot fucking find any YouTube videos of the commercials for that thing.
Oh, like when the mind eraser used to buzz through his head.
Yes.
So good, you'll beat your wife, says Cal Ripken.
Get your kidnapped at Wild World.
You know, it's like keep an eye on your mothers; they will get kidnapped. You know what? I don't want people to think that I have forgotten that the Vi Ripken case is still closed, is still open. It's a cold case. My wall with red string and pictures. Really, it's only 2 pictures. It's a 1987 Topps baseball card of Cal.
Of Billy Ripken.
and a 1988 Billy. That's what I got.
that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Like, did they make her like withdraw money from the ATM or something, or did they just drop her off?
Yeah, they just took her for a drive. And I think she did get some money, and then she just showed back up at the house. And the prevailing conspiracy theory is that she was taken because Billy Ripken had some gambling debts that he had not paid.
I subscribe to this is a weirdo love affair gone wrong theory, but that's just me. Like Vi Ripken was fucking some weirdo 35-year-old.
Yeah, she had the super hots for some dude, and he was like, "Come on, baby, let's elope."
Yeah, it's like a To Die For scenario where Vi Ripken
cut. That's a good pull.
Is the Nicole Kidman or a Wayne's World 2, if you will, where Vi Ripken is Kim Basinger.
So, and I can't remember the name of this other amusement park, but there were amusement park-ish type things in Baltimore City.
It's called Big Top. It's at the corner of Gay and Baltimore Street.
Yeah, that's an amusement park of sorts. circus strip club.
I don't think it is a strip club. I think it's well, is it a strip club if you're just if it's got the windows? Does that count as a strip club? It's a peep show, I thought.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
I don't know. They should really have like peep shows and shit at like fucking Six Flags for like the dads, or maybe the more adventuresome moms.
Sure. Yeah, the curious moms. I mean, but
yeah,
you could also we get some dudes in there.
Sure. Oh yeah, like maybe Wednesdays for like 2 hours, like at 2, like, hey everybody, between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. it's Ladies' Day.
Brian, mostly.
Yes.
Have
Thanks.
you ever even been to any of the establishments on the block?
No, I haven't. Have you?
I think I've been to the Hustler Club, and I've been to the Midway Bar or whatever, which isn't even it's not even like a strip place. It was run by a lady named like Star or something. She was a very famous
Blaze Star.
Blaze Star, very famous. All of the walls are just covered in like pictures of burlesque performers of note, and the place is, I mean, it's gross, but
this here is Eunice McGillicuddy.
Yeah.
She was the finest dancer in 1972. I wanted to, man, why did I say 70? I wanted to say 1917.
17. Yeah,
that
would
have
like,
been funnier.
There were legitimate burlesque performers on the block that would like, the whole trope of having a sexy snake like draped around your body like that.
Well, this might be this might be a controversial statement, but I guess that now that I'm single, maybe I kind of want to go to like dirtiest, filthiest strip club on the block and just sit and fucking like decades old cum stains and just like look at a fucking stripper with stretch marks that look like
a C-section scar.
Yeah, I just want to see like the beauty of a D-grade stripper working for pocket change.
Now this conversation has turned from amusement parks to strip clubs in Baltimore.
Like I said, I don't see the difference.
Did you ever go to Night Shift?
I have been to Night Shift a few times.
I went to Night Shift when I was like 18, and I was such a dork that I sat there with like a little notebook, and I was just like writing things down about other people there. Like, ugh, these guys are gross.
Cool. Did you go to a coffee shop and talk about Kerouac after?
I probably did. That was the crowd that I was hanging out with at that time. But I know that Night Shift like tried a little like a LGBT reboot, Night Shift 2.0, and I don't think it made it.
No, it closed at least in June.
Okay.
As a man comfortable with his heterosexuality, I would maybe go to a strip club that said, all right, ladies and gentlemen, coming to stage right, it's Candy. and if you turn to your left, it's Ben. Like, Ben. Like
Benjamin.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Steven.
I've never been a strip club person, and at the same time, like I've been to a lot of them in the area somehow. I have a lot of thoughts on the quality of a bunch.
I don't think it's a secret to people who know me that I appreciate the female form, but even I find strip clubs to be just mildly uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, and
I much prefer to have a 2-girl show in a living room.
Yes.
If I've learned anything,
cost you less.
If I've learned anything from bachelor parties, like,
right.
Do you like to go to a strip club, or do you like to have the strippers come in? And my answer is always, have the strippers come in, because if you're nice and friendly enough when they're off the clock, well, maybe they'll keep hanging out.
To what end, Brian? To what end?
I don't know. To have a couple of girls in this party full of dudes that's all horned up, like. Oh wait, no. I mean, but in less creepy ways. It's just a little, just wow. It's really nice to talk to you. Oh, you're at the community college? That's cool.
Right. You're going to nursing school?
Tell me more about your time at Medics.
I was just remarking yesterday, actually, in a premature shout out to visiting friends that I haven't seen in over a year, because it's like time is a flat circle at this point. And we'll talk more about this, but saw them yesterday, and we were talking about like the plethora of Russian and or Ukrainian prostitutes that live in Essex, Maryland.
Well, have you been to the Crazy Russian?
Wait, where is that? That's in Vegas.
No, the Crazy Russian. It's on like fucking Pulaski Highway.
No. No. Nope.
Wasn't there an episode of The Wire specifically about that?
Yeah, season 2. Yeah, they were all dead. But that's how they got here.
In shipping containers.
No, I think the last club that I went to might have been the Ritz for somebody's bachelor party, or it was for my ex's birthday at the Gentleman's Gold Club.
I have a question. I was biking by the Ritz the other day, and I couldn't help but notice that it is spelled R period I period T period Z period.
Z period. Yeah. Good question. What does that stand for?
What does Ritz stand for?
We're gonna have to work that.
Right in the Zussy?
Yep. Have you also noticed that the building next door to it, where it was a collapsed shell, is currently under construction for the last 8 years, and it's supposed to be like a steakhouse owned by the Ritz people?
Maybe it is. It's just it's a secret to get in.
Oh.
I think that's what Baltimore needs, is like a laundromat with a strip club in the back.
Oh yeah, secret clubs.
The city needs it.
City needs it. Speaking of which, the headline recently is that Atlas Group is opening a bakery in where else? Harbor fucking East.
They already own the land. They bought it from the Indians for $18 and a hand of shells.
No, my understanding is that the majority of that land over there is owned by Paterakis et al. And I am unsure how these fuckers are opening this many restaurants during a global pandemic. I think they're up to 16 concepts at this point, and now they've got a bakery coming down the pipe. The undoubtedly shitty cross-street market effort that basically sideswiped a business that was there for over 40 years, and now it's like, oh, we're just going to replace it with foosball tables and white people only, please. I'm just saying they're probably laundering money. I don't know what's going on with these dudes, but like they cannot be cash positive.
What's the name of the bakery?
Needs. K-N-E-A-D-S, needs. Yeah. Get it? Because city needs it.
Because it's a food pun.
I don't want to be political about a business venture, but fuck these guys. I'm sick of Alex Smith and his goddamn concepts. Brian, where'd you go? There you are.
I'm here.
Anyway, anybody have any thoughts on this whole thing?
Yeah, I read some Facebook comment that really, it's like the A plus B plus C of it all. Like in a vacuum, like any of these problems are, surmountable and easily fixed. But because these guys just keep adding shit up, they just suck.
I'm genuinely curious. Like, we're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars of investment that I can't imagine that every single one of these places is cash positive. Like, they're not making fucking money right now.
I just don't imagine that it's paying off for the city.
Well, I mean, look, when it comes to anybody that wants to do business, the city will coalesce to the biggest of the investors. They will never give anybody a break that's like a ma and pa or a small time or a person of color investor that wants to open like a fucking donut shop in Pigtown. But Alex Smith comes out with his fucking checkbook and his Sinclair money, and they're like, yes, please, give you $100 million in tax breaks. I'm bending over on camera. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm curious if the bakery was planned before the pandemic, because it seems like a very poor timing to open up that type of business.
What if they made their own like bougie strip club?
The Atlas Group presents. What would the name be of their strip club concept?
Oh, great question. It has to be something they're trying to present a feel of a certain kind of feel. So really you have to ask yourself, what era are they? It's going to. Are they aiming for Playboy Club kind of
either that or
feel?
Prohibition era, like flappers, and stuff like that. And it would have to be one word, super douchey, but one word. It has to be one word.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. Flappers gave me an idea, and I believe that they would call this place Flapjacks.
No,
because
nobody wants to see that.
Well, but it's a pun, because what you don't know is that this place has breakfast all day.
Okay, all you can eat pancake bar,
and they are well known for their pankaku.
Okay. So wait, we're talking floppy titties or flapjacks? Is that the metaphor, or?
You know what?
Pancake bar.
We would like some perky naturals. We are not looking just for sucked out 3 kid titties.
This is where I get uncomfortable.
You started it,
already
man.
Very uncomfortable.
Brian, I want to be taken seriously. Also, Brian.
Casey, me bringing comedy is not. I'm taking this very seriously.
Oh, is that what you call what you're doing?
Yes.
Being wholly disgusting. All right.
Let's look.
Take a little break. Time to sell the internet sensation.
Oh man, my shout out is going.
Weeping 92.
So
It's time for shout outs.
Incongruous.
We need to institute the debate rules.
I'm talking, Brian. It's now time to take a not break and give Matt props, aka shout outs to persons, places, and things that are improving our quality of life and giving us jollies. Casey, you go first.
Of course, the obligatory shout out to Elliot's Farm. Clark's Ellie Oak Farm. It was great. They doing all the safety precautions. Everything was, they were doing it right, and they were. If you didn't have your mask on right, they would let you know and ask you nicely, politely to please cover your nose with your mask. So shout out to them.
Casey,
also,
how many times do they ask you to fix your mask?
Oh no, because I did it right.
Doesn't happen.
Also interesting. My 2-year-old was able to wear a mask better than most of the adults there, but that's a different conversation. They're one of the.
Well, you're raising a Democrat, Casey.
Yeah. They also there's an author there that wrote 2 delightful children's books. Pick those up. My son loves them, so shout out to that place.
Don't want to say the author or the names of the books. That's cool. Fuck you, author.
It's Trusty the Tractor and Trusty the Tractor's Day Off.
Okay. Very good.
My shout out this week is to the start of soup, stew, and bratwurst season. Yeah, baby. Casey, you've been making any stews in that there Instant Pot?
Not yet, but that sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna have to look up some recipes.
I have a very delightful looking beef minestrone recipe. I will send it your way. And if you buy one of these Instant Pot air fryer duos, we will post a link in the CTB Fam Zone Extreme, which I'm just going to rename to the Instant Pot air fryer duo Fam Zone Extreme.
I already made a pea soup this season.
Ooh. Did you put what'd you put in it? Bacon or ham?
I put in carrots, onions, celery, ham hocks, and 2 packages of hot dogs.
Very good. That sounds like a hearty, meaty, gross pea soup.
Gross, it's delicious. If you don't put hot dogs in your pea soup, you're doing it wrong.
Well, I think I could figure out more erudite ingredients to put in.
If that's what you're looking for, go for it.
Yeah, I'm a yuppie fag. I want to.
Whoa!
I say that I was reminded yesterday that when I was living in Southern Maryland, I was sleeping in a trailer on a cot, and because I used big words, they called me a yuppie fag.
They call you a fag. You know what? I miss it. I miss the 90s.
Well, that was not even the 90s.
Oh,
That was definitely early to mid 2000s.
It was like 6 months ago.
Yeah, yeah. I went very broke very quickly for a brief period of time.
I have a shout out, and
All right, do it.
my shout out is Ernest. Shout out to friend of the show, Dave Workmeister, who gifted me with a lovely present this week. I've talked before how the Taylor Swift album Folklore really helped me during the whole early days of the separation process.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave gifted me an autographed copy of said CD. Evan, you asked, you said, wow, it's nice that he signed it. Don't know why he signed it. Here's where I should say Taylor Swift signed it.
Oh, Taylor Swift signed it.
This is a Taylor Swift signed compact disc. Luckily, don't have a
Contact
CD
disc.
I said compact. Luckily, I don't have a CD player, so it will stay sealed.
Oh,
Sealed in its
it's gonna be worth some money someday.
I don't know if it's going to be worth money.
It'll be worth $15.99.
This is, I mean, they apparently what Dave told me is they screwed up, and they screwed up an order and just sent him his wife one, like, just to say sorry. So like they might have some of these lying around.
Okay,
but
you're saying it's not a rare item.
It's not rare, but
Soundgarden had like 3 truckloads of them.
But it meant so much. Like, it made me smile so big. Like,
Yeah,
I'm really going. This is something I'm going to treasure forever. Like it truly is.
Yeah, well, anytime we get like a gift from a fan, that's a big deal, I think.
No, it just means so much. Like, like the record means a lot, and just the thought behind it. Yeah, it just means a whole lot.
Very good. That has been shout outs. And along we go. Guys, Borat 2, subsequent movie film. Brian, you haven't seen it, but Casey, you have.
I had a busy weekend.
I bet you did.
Despite the fact that we said, hey, maybe we should all watch it.
Yes, we watched it on Friday night when it dropped. I was pretty drunk when we watched it, but I had a fair amount of laughter coming out of my mouth. Casey, you were wildly uncomfortable.
No, there was a
stuff.
couple scenes that I felt truly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Generally, I was very underwhelmed by the movie.
Okay.
I think if it hadn't been hyped up, I think there's a lot of hype leading into this go around, and if it hadn't been hyped up, I might have had a different experience. But generally, underwhelmed. Didn't think it was anything was that funny. There was a couple parts where I thought were funny, but they were few and far between for me. And yeah, I don't know. I think Borat hasn't aged very well. Let's put it that way.
Oh, certainly not. Yeah, all the Jew stuff and like the air quotes problematic. Every time he goes back to Kazakhstan, he's taking advantage of these impoverished people and making fun of them somehow. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But the daughter character, who apparently has never been in a movie before, was absolutely fantastic. Like, she was obviously very convincing to the general public that she was some sort of, European reporter, fledgling reporter, was so convincing enough to one Rudy Giuliani, where she was acting very smitten and starstruck by one Rudy Giuliani, and invited him back into her room to get drinks and stuff. And he's lying on the bed and doing some stuff, and then Borat shows up in his little mankini, and
that was very underwhelming.
Look, underwhelming. Dude was going for it. There is no doubt in my brain. Like, her phone number and her address, and
it was gross, but it wasn't like I don't know. It was just
so here's my question: is this a Bill and Ted kind of I've gone on record on saying that I wish the Bill and Ted movie was just about the girls. Is this a Bill and Ted scenario, or like maybe a Fast and Furious presents? Should it have been Fast and Furious? Should this have been Borat presents this bitch?
I mean, it was kind of like that because Borat, obviously, if he's walking around on the streets of America, gets recognized constantly as they show in the movie, and then he goes, and it's very meta. He goes to a costume shop and like puts on a fat suit and gets costumed to not look like Borat, but is still Borat and doing his Borat thing, but trucking around his daughter around America, and so she sort of becomes like the centerpiece, and it's hysterical. I mean, it's like the amount of shit that like they get away with is just blows me away.
I thought the segments with the guy in the fax machine or the copy shop were pretty funny.
Yeah, those are funny.
That was pretty funny.
But is there as riotous a moment as when he like gets the crowd to sing "Throw the Jews down the well"?
There were
so our country can be free.
Yeah, no, that was not that. I don't think that was in the movie. That was in the Ollie G show. But no,
Throw the Jews down the well.
Like that. There's also not any kind of moment like a la what was the gay Bruno, where he almost gets killed because he almost he fucks up so bad that like people want to beat the shit out of him. Nothing that crazy, but just the stuff. There's a moment, there's a scene, and this is where the movie gets weird for me because I couldn't tell what was actually scripted and what was not. Because you have to imagine that there's Borat. He's like in a house with a bunch of people with a film crew, and they're saying the things that they're saying, and they have to have it's either fake or holy crap, how did they do this? Because the guy is getting these people to say a whole bunch of stuff about like, latter day QAnon stuff almost. And
yeah, I was really curious how they pull, like how they did that. And then like the one scene with the quote unquote babysitter.
Yes.
How they pulled that off, because she was like generally the nicest person in that entire movie.
Yeah, they were sitting in the car, like having a genuine conversation where she's holding this book, this fake book about like how Kazakh women need to be held in cages until they're married or whatever, and she's just like, no, honey, this is not right. And I'm just like, what? She's got to be in on this. It doesn't make any sense if she's not.
So the one thing, the part that made me the most uncomfortable was when he goes into the synagogue and he's dressed up as like he's quote unquote dressed up like a Jewish person.
Oh, right. The big pointy nose.
So I don't know if you know about that. So he got sued by that woman's family.
Oh, really?
I think after they filmed that, she died. And I believe the movie's actually dedicated to her. But she is supposedly she's the only person in the movie that's in on it. They like clued her in. They're like, hey, we're gonna say some pretty terrible stuff. Like, this is what is part of a movie. So like I enjoyed Who Is America. Like I kind of like that, where they're like trying to like peel away people's prejudice and get them to reveal that sort of thing. But I don't get the point of that scene specifically, because if the person that you are targeting is in on it and you are doing that in a synagogue, like there's no gotcha moment there. It's just, I don't know. It seemed like it was just to further the plot as opposed to being terrible to like expose people.
No, I think you're right. No, actually what wound up being the point of that scene is, I think that Sacha Baron Cohen is demonstrating that old Jewish ladies are the nicest people on earth. I don't know what
they are, unless you're a waiter who pisses them off.
Right. And so help you God if you're black.
Oh, a black waiter? Oof. No, thank you. Could we sit in a different section, please?
Yeah.
Or
that's Borat.
They were nice.
Oh, the other scene that I really liked was when the girl goes by herself to what was that group? It was like it wasn't like Women for Trump, but it was something like Women Republican or Lady. I forget what the name of the group was. And there was just these old Christian ladies, and yeah, so it is funny.
Yeah, Oh yeah,
That was pretty funny.
I'm saying again, the daughter was the best character because she comes on the scene saying all these awful, awful, awful things about like what apparently Kazakhstani women experience, and they're all just kind of like either they're nonplussed and have no reaction, or they're like, "Oh no, honey, that's terrible." I don't know. It was great. She's great. The whole movie was fun. It was fun. Look,
we don't talk
I'll sit here and watch Hubie Halloween and be pleased with it. I think, Borat 2, as opposed to an Anchorman 2, which was an unmitigated disaster, I think was a success.
Anchorman 2 had some potential, and they threw it away.
Yeah, what I'm getting at is these sequels that come out well over 10 years after the first, salvo, usually wind up being utter shit. I mean, look at Dumb and Dumberer.
I will not.
Please don't. It's bad. It's very bad. But there is a very attractive actress in that movie that Jim Carrey thinks is his daughter, or maybe it is. I can't remember. The movie sucks. All right, so that's enough Borat. Before we get to further, media talk, Casey, you've got a donut. It's on screen.
Just sit here. I've almost accidentally ate this thing like 4 times already.
Just reached over to eat it.
So this is the ghost pepper donut from Dunkin' Donuts. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have some predictions.
I also have predictions. I'll let you do them first.
I don't think it's going to be that hot.
I agree.
I don't know how you can market something as ghost chili pepper and it not be hot. So I'm really curious how this is going to work. So it's the regular donut with paint. So I don't know if it's supposed to be in the sprinkles or the frosting. I'm guessing it's going to be in the frosting because it's not as smooth as like their normal frosting. But yeah.
For those of us, for those of you, listeners that are actually seeing this on YouTube, congrats, you're the only person. But also, it looks like a very Simpsons-esque donut. And
now, Casey, I also ate a hot thing last week that we haven't talked about yet.
Oh, right, the chip.
Because I wanted to talk about it before I shared it to the Fam Zone. I know some Fam Zoners saw it on my Instagram. BLevy83, check me out.
Okay, Casey just ate the donut. Well, Brian,
is this your first time eating this donut? Have you had one yet?
Yeah, this is the first time. I specifically waited to today.
Okay, so when did you buy it?
Like about less like 40 minutes before we started. So
all right, so it arrived via truck sometime this morning. Just because that's how Dunkin' rolls. So I did the Paki one chip challenge.
And how was it?
It was brutal. How's this going, Casey?
I can taste it. The heat is kind of like, I've had ghost chili pepper before, the wings, no idea, back in the day. That was awful. This is so far like you get the heat, but it isn't hitting me like a truck yet.
What's the sweet?
I don't know. I think it's like a strawberry, I guess.
Because you got the heat, but then you also got the sweet.
Mm-hmm.
About what I would expect. Kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Casey describes Dunkin' Donuts as underwhelming.
Everything's been underwhelming for Casey today.
Hey, Brian, I have you now. Dunkin' Donuts is a fine establishment. I love Dunkin'. I prefer Dunkin' to Starbucks.
Look, getting back to top of the show plugs, you use your stash card at Dunkin' Donuts. Guess what you get?
Dunkin' Donuts stock.
That's correct.
I should have you guys know that I have Next Generation on mute in the background, and I don't know. Can I flip this camera?
I don't know.
I want you
any
to
use to anyone listening to this other than the people,
it's just for you.
People that watch this on YouTube.
It's the scene where Troy and Crusher are doing aerobics.
Let me just give a synopsis of what's going on in the video right now. Casey's eating a donut. I'm seeing Brian's feet and a scene from TNG.
A famous scene.
Very professional podcast video.
It's been mean. Hey man, this is quarantine. This is social distancing podcast. These are the things that we just need to keep. Yeah, go.
You get your ring light set up there. I fully expect you to set it up as the tripod goes and be professional in the next episode of the CTB show.
I will.
So-
I promise.
So
face.
I
gonna
think the
start
challenge here really should be to have multiple of these donuts because
Okay.
okay, so maybe it's ghost chili pepper, but it's not enough to really register. But
Right.
if you have like I don't know, like 6 of these, I imagine
What?
like the heat would just build up.
Yeah. You eat a half dozen donuts and the heat will build up.
Here's your first mistake. You're not eating enough donuts. Dude, does it need to be the donut eating machine from donut feeding machine from
more? Ow.
Homer versus the devil?
Great fucking sketch. So good. My favorite.
I believe that would be a segment.
Segment. Fine. So the bottom line, what letter grade would you give this donut?
Am I rating the heat or the actual flavor?
I want the
whole thing.
overall experience. Yeah. Right.
I'd say like a 3. Like it's not anything. I wouldn't go back and order one of these. I don't. It's literally one of those things. You're like, oh, I had one, and then you move on.
And I really wanted to come back and get another one. Probably not.
Like there's no point. Like why would you have a spicy donut? Like it's just not. I say that as I keep eating the donut.
Well, I mean, you're gonna eat the whole thing.
Yeah, no one's telling you to stop eating it.
All right, that has been Hot Donut Chat, literally. Now, I guess as we close out the show, did you guys watch the presidential debates this past?
I did.
You did. Brian, you probably didn't.
I was at work.
You were at work.
You know that this is how we keep the poor and disenfranchised from engaging in the political systems.
Yeah.
We have important information at 8 p.m. in the evening.
Well, at least it's streaming.
Yeah, no, right. I read some articles.
I was shocked at how many venues it was available to watch on. Like it was free on Hulu, it was free on YouTube, it was free on Facebook, it was free everywhere.
As it should be.
Look, I don't think.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think it's any secret about who I'll be voting for. I mean, like, I don't need to, like, why would I watch the debates anyway? Don't need it. Don't want it.
Well, please, you do. I mean, it's very entertaining stuff. I mean, I just sat there drinking and watching the thing and just, losing my shit every time, like, Biden came out with another T-shirt quote.
I wanted to watch it because I wanted to be able to see with my own eyes what would later be little sound bites, and then people offering their own opinions and takes.
Mm-hmm.
Because kind of like the from the last debate when Trump said to stand back and stand by, like watching it live, you have that perspective, the context of everything. So then when people are giving their opinions, you're like, okay, well, I saw it. I know the context.
Well, here's the other thing. I skip that shit too. I don't worry about like the commentary. Like I'll read a couple articles, but like, and this isn't like I'm not engaging in the political process. It's just like, okay, I'm engaged in the political process. I get it. I know. I'm like, when they're just like, you're not paying attention. I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, I'm paying enough attention, but like, I'm in. Like, I know what I want to do.
What I was looking for specifically, A, the entertainment factor of watching Donald Trump have a complete meltdown, but also B, like looking for Biden to actually talk about policy, which he did do.
No, he doesn't have the meltdown that I want him to. I am forever waiting for like Donald Trump to go through like the end of a Matlock episode where Kristen
he just admits everything.
He just admits fucking everything. That's all I want. And it's like they never show what happens after, right? Because
you can't handle the truth.
Yeah, like I'm waiting for that. He's like, don't you know? I hate the Mexicans, and I'll always hate them because they murdered my mother, or some shit like that. That'd
be a great twist though, if his mother was murdered by a Mexican.
I don't think they were. I don't think
so. I think they were rich people in New York and they lived long lives.
She probably died of spousal abuse or something.
No. I think though what's crazy is like I've been scouring the audio internet, trying to listen for either candidate to talk about policy specifically, and I found it in one Pod Save America, and Joe Biden did like a fucking hour on actual policy talk, and it was boring, but it was
Should be.
it was detailed, and it was like, oh, this motherfucker like has an idea of how to combat climate change and do all these other things, whereas Donald Trump is just kind of like, yeah, we can figure out healthcare in like a day. It's fine. I can just like write a thing. I'll just do it. I'll just do it in my hand right here.
You had 4 years.
Right. Well,
two of which you have no impediment to pass anything that you wanted to.
I think my main point is that Trump has said over and over that he's got a plan or he's going to come up with one. And I think he really thinks that he can do it in less than 2 weeks. And these things take fucking years. They don't take days or months, years. I don't think the Paris climate agreement thing took like 2 weeks. And I don't think that fixing the American healthcare system can take 2 weeks. And I think that's what Donald Trump really honestly thinks that he can do with the wave of a pen.
Because it's in his experience as a business person, that's what happens. You say, "Hey, if you're the CEO, or whatever, you say something, and then people do it." Like that's not how politics work.
No, it's not. And it's built that way by design. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it sucks. But like, yeah, we're not supposed to like just change instantaneously unless we have to pivot to a disaster situation such as this pandemic that we're in.
Did you see the Biden campaign? They have this website, Donald Trump's COVID plan or something like that.
Yeah,
and then you click on it, it's like not found.
Page not found. That's very clever. Yeah. Obviously, so like,
but we're rounding the corner on COVID.
Of course we are. I mean,
and then 2 days later,
actual graphs of the amount of cases that we're experiencing right now at a record level for the third time. Anyway,
we're back where we started.
Kind of. I'm kind of done talking about this issue in terms of the politicization of mask wearing and all this other stuff. I'm like, look, I'm a common sense person. I'm going to do what is dictated, and I'm going to do the right thing. Obviously, we cannot count on the rest of a certain section of Americans to do the same thing, and I will not be hanging out with them. We went out for dinner on Friday and sat outside at a table at a bar restaurant that was inside completely fucking packed, and I was just like, okay, I guess nothing's happening. I guess nothing's going on right now. Does anyone fucking care at all? No, the answer is no. Precaution.
Not anymore.
No, I think people have gotten fatigued by precautions or being responsible. That's my biggest thing is like people just do not want to be responsible for their own behavior. They don't fucking give a shit about the person next to them unless they're related to them, and sometimes even then not. That. Ugh. Anyway, debates. Great stuff. Anyway. All right, let's end on high note. Do we have any topics that are, I don't know, happy, go lucky?
No? As I say, we didn't talk about The Mist, but
oh yeah, we can do that too because it does.
But that's not happy go lucky.
It's not at all.
That movie ends with a child murder.
It kind of does, yeah. Well, yeah. So Hannah had never seen The Mist from 2007, starring Thomas Jane.
But I don't think I've seen that movie.
You haven't? Oh, you should watch it. It's a very good, and then I didn't remember this. Everybody who has seen it or knows about the movie knows that the ending has a really brutal twist ending.
It's so brutal that it was more brutal than the original ending for the Stephen King novel.
Yeah.
And even Stephen King was like, wow, like.
But the basic premise of the movie is a bunch of people get stuck in a grocery store because this rolling cloud of mist just surrounds the entire area, and all these creatures start popping up and killing people. But what makes it very sort of COVID appropriate is that within the grocery store, the people start factioning off into little, sects. And there's one group that says like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing going on outside. Fuck you all. This is bullshit. Fake news. And of course they leave and they all get killed. And then there's a religious sect that, basically says like, this is because of our shitty morals and all this and that and the other. And you know, it doesn't get talked about a whole lot, but I'm sure there are a lot of religious people out there that think that COVID is some sort of reckoning, you know, because of gays. I don't know, something. And then there's the third group of people that are like, we're just trying to live, you know, live. And then they eventually have to escape the grocery store because everyone else is going nuts and shit happens. I don't know. But it's The Mist. Available on Amazon Prime for $2.99 or something like that. I recommend it. It's not a good movie, but it's a.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I watched it, but I recall enjoying it.
It's enjoyable. It's not good. It's very like it's a 90-minute Twilight Zone episode because of the simplicity of what breaks down. There's not a lot of nuance. It's just like there's intergalactic creatures and then people are fighting. And that's it. Good stuff. Hey, you want to watch The Mist? Click through our Amazon banner on cityofthebreeds.com/deals. We've got an Amazon banner. Click through it. Brian, where'd you go?
The more you know, I'm here.
Thank you. All right, we might as well end. Brian, you've got to go to work.
I do.
Therefore, it is now time to get a little angry. Time to get a little flop.
I'm like not upset that I have to go to work. It's just a fact of life. I'm a very busy man doing many different things.
Maybe get a better shift.
My shift next week is pretty good.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks.
What are we doing for Halloween, guys?
Halloween's canceled.
Halloween's canceled. Children are canceled. Halloween is canceled. Trick-or-treating is canceled. Costumes are canceled. This is what happened. We're grounded, man.
What is the most problematic and the least problematic costume of this year?
I would have to say that I heard there is a sexy hand sanitizer.
Okay. Let's see in the ballot box.
I will be going as Jeffrey Toobin.
Oh, okay. You're just going to masturbate?
I'm just going to masturbate everywhere. So generally, I'm going as myself. No, I'm just kidding.
It's time to go right ahead and tell everyone to shut up. Oh, there we are. This right here is the end of the show in which we give persons, places, and things that are giving us the opposite of jollies and deproving our quality of life a hearty, literal, or proverbial shut up. My shut up this week. Oh, fuck. I didn't finish writing it. Somebody else do it.
Shut up to trying to lose weight in the fall.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the best time of the year for food and alcoholic beverages and just generally losing all the steam that I had.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to piggyback on your shut up and say shut up to myself and my own alcoholic consumption and lack of motivation to go to the gym where I just want to be on the elliptical for 40 minutes, but I can't because I got to wear a mask. It's kind of a pain in the ass. What are you going to do? Brian, what do you got?
As somebody who's had no trouble losing weight or staying active during this pandemic, I would like to say shut up to the sudden shift between pretty warm on Wednesday and Thursday to fucking cold all of a sudden now here on Sunday. And I don't think it's going back. So shut up to the change of the seasons.
Well, look, as we all know, the Chinese myth known as climate change is a myth.
Sure. It was 80 degrees in the third week of October.
I don't know how many consecutive months need to break records for the rest of the fucking world to get on board and be like, yeah, this is happening. It's happening. It's already happened. We got to fucking do something about it. Yikes.
Yeah, so it was definitely.
Shut up to climate change deniers. How about that?
Yeah, hot take.
Hot take. Controversial. All right, that has been Shut Ups. All right, that has been an hour and 5 with us, the CTB show group, the pod gang, if you will. If you're the 1 or 2 people that are watching this on YouTube, please smash the like button, the subscribe button. See, I'm doing it right now over my virtual background. It's really hard pivoting to video in this day and age, you know, as old as we are, because we're not like cute teens, you know?
But I do think I'm a distinguished looking older gentleman.
Well, not at that angle.
He
Casey,
says
to your
with the
background.
Flash poster in the background,
Right,
and
right.
TNG on the television.
Yeah. The most attractive man in podcast.
That's Malcolm Gladwell.
Oh yeah, he's a hottie.
Do you think would he consider himself to be in pod? Be in
Sorry,
podcasting?
I was thinking of Jordan Peterson and his daughter.
Who are they?
Have you never seen Jordan Peterson's daughter?
No.
They
no.
like eat nothing but meat, and she's a very fit lady. It's weird. All right, this three something of the CTB show. I'm very happy to have recorded this with you guys today, and if you're listening, thank you very much. Please continue to listen. You know, throw us some money on Venmo at City That Breeds. Click.
It's Michaela.
I'm sorry.
Her name's Michaela.
Michaela Peterson.
Okay. Yeah.
Either
I found it.
Great. I'm sure you're following her. Instantly smashing that like button, as you should.
I Googled her. I'll find her on Instagram real quick.
Look, my final plea for this episode is if you have not written a review for this show and you've been listening for more than a year, throw us a bone, bro or lady. Just get on that iTunes, write a little thing. It could be 3 words. I like this. That's it. That's all we need.
Call me
And then go
names. Call me names in it.
My baby.
I want
all right.
someone to call me a name.
Okay. Yeah. Write a review and call Brian a name, and we will read it on the show.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Things to expect in the next few weeks before Halloween. I'm actually going to push out those unaired Ziggy Gets It Wrongs because there is one episode that is very clearly a Halloween episode. And I love it. It's great. That CTB Presents feed has been neglected for far too long. Now time to pick out some content.
It's, we're finally going to start this quarantine project that we've been putting off.
Oh, speaking of which, the Every 90s Pilot Ever project.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, man. We should do something.
We compile a list.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Brian's a busy man, so.
Yes, he's very busy.
Hey, listen, Casey, I'm doing all right. I'm getting good grades. The future is so bright. I gotta wear shades. I couldn't find my sunglasses.
Okay, here's my homework assignment for the two of you. We're gonna do a presents episode about the movie My Science Project. So you've got to immediately go watch that movie. I mean,
My Science Project.
My Science Project.
Is it available on YouTube or anything?
I don't know where it's available. It's available somewhere, and if you need to spend money, I will Venmo you. And then we will do a CTB Presents episode about My Science Project.
Okay.
So Dennis Hopper and a bunch of teens. And a
Dennis Hopper.
Yep.
Is the name of the movie also Super Mario Brothers?
Yes. That's a different episode. All right. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for being a friend. Thank you very much for being a fan. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.